Hey everyone, Justin Norton with Norton & Co. Shooting Sports. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. Today is going to be a little bit different on what kind of video that you're going to see. Normally I have sporting clays, 5-man stand, some type of tournament that I went to. But I'm really starting to dive into what I want this channel to be, right? The vision that I have for it. And the vision I have for it is to not just give you quality content that's entertaining for the tournaments I go to or the practice shoots that I go to, but to be informative. I want people to know that are a part of this community, hey, there's things going on that you might not be aware or might not even pertain to you. But on top of that, it's also giving people that are brand new to the sport an idea of just exactly how in-depth you can go with rule changes, events that are going on, or just simply wanting to know more. Today we are actually going to do a product review first, which will lead into the content at hand, which is why I'm actually creating this video, and that is to report a rule clarification for all you future content creators that actually want to do what I do, and a bunch of other people as well. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. So for everyone that enjoys those really close-up shots in a lot of my videos, and seeing those clays just become like a powder or just an absolute dust cloud, we can all thank ShotKam. This is a ShotKam Gen 4. This will be what we are reviewing today. I am not sponsored by them. I have no affiliation with them whatsoever. Purely my own opinion about the product. But we'll go into more of the specs on exactly what it is that makes up the ShotKam Gen 4, what options there are for you, and then also, of course, its capabilities. We're going to compare a little bit the models, so we'll do the Gen 4 and the Gen 3. So right off the rip, one of the biggest differentiating things is the price. Given this one shoots only in 1080p, as you can see right here, for 100 frames per second, this one gives you a wider range of being able to choose what you want. The reason that's important is for content creators, there are softwares that we use to edit videos that you have to pay for the entirety of the software, which can cost you $300, $400, even $1,000 just to unlock the ability to edit and print out the 4K resolution. Most of them will all accept a 2.7K or less, but not all of them will allow you to render a 4K video for free. So that's super awesome for me. I saw that and I was like, well, if I want to shoot anywhere close to 4K without paying for that, I'll just go ahead and settle for the 2.7K resolution and use that instead. Here is your field of view. That's what I was talking about with the 4K giving a lot more sensory to the camera itself. It's going to be an ultra wide form, so that means the range for the zoom is going to be a lot more zoomed out, so it can capture a lot more. And then as you go down, you've got your 4K, 2.7K, 1080, and your 720 and 540s. So that's kind of where you will fall in here, is right around this range for the most part. Your zoom range is your 2x8, and then you have a fixed 4x for your ShotKam. That was ultimately my selling point. Was I know there's a lot of clays that are super close and super far away, and I want a good mix of being able to choose the resolution that fits me as well as the zoom range and capturing absolutely everything. So this is why I chose the Gen 4. Battery life is another reason. I mean, that's a no-brainer. 15 hours versus your 5, and then the charge time's the same. For all you tech guys, knowing what the difference between these processors are and being able to actually process the video into a file. Basically, it's just the processing speed of being able to process 300 million pixels per second at 1 gigahertz versus this. That's literally all that's meaning, is it's faster. You have your Wi-Fi download speed, which is also faster. It's a 6 megabits per second versus your 3. Not a huge difference, but I mean, if you're standing there waiting around, you're like, hey, I want to show you something, and you're waiting for 10 minutes because it's a long 4K video, they might walk away. Your internal memory is a huge upgrade. It's double, from 64 to 128 with the Gen 4. And then what we were talking about earlier is that USB-C port for the connection of transferring data faster. Your mini USB ports are a lot slower. And then we talked about the temperature range. There's your dimensions if you really care. The dimensions weren't necessarily a problem for me. Now, if you have a rifle, that might be a different case. The barrel itself, or the barrel grip, seems to be a lot fatter in diameter. So your rifle barrels might struggle a little bit in being able to get a nice fit snug, or a nice tight fit on the barrel. So just look for that. Measure what you can if you have to. I'm sure you could just get some cardboard and stuff it in there and tighten it down that way. Now this is a personal thing. When I've been shooting with this thing for almost 2 months now, you can definitely tell the difference of nothing versus 184 grams of weight on the front of your barrel. Obviously, the further you go out away from your center point of gravity, it's going to have a larger effect. So swinging that gun back and forth, trying to catch clays, traveling, it is a little bit of a learning curve if you are used to a gun. But I've been shooting with it basically since I've had the gun itself. So standard video format's MP4, and they both have IPX6 rating for the water resistant, which basically means, yep, it can go up to, I think, 30 feet underwater. All right, now that we've actually talked about just the overall specs of a ShotKam Gen 4, I want to give you my own personal opinion as a user. Now, the application of a ShotKam Gen 4 can be used for different reasons, and that's what I would ask yourself before getting one, is why? Why are you getting or wanting a ShotKam Gen 4 or Gen 3? The reason I got a ShotKam was because I wanted to do this. I wanted to create content, record that, and be able to edit it and post it. Now, some people are like, oh, I want to use it for training. Some people want to just record memories, where their first hunt with their son or daughter, going duck hunting, going turkey hunting, going deer hunting, whatever it might be. And I see that as a valid reason. But, and this is where I'm going to say this, I do not see it being helpful in training to make you a better shooter. The reason I say that is because a ShotKam cannot help you with bad stance or footwork. It cannot help you with bad mounting habits with the gun. It can't help you with over-exertion and movement of the barrel. Like if you're erratically moving the gun from one target to the next, it's just a lot more movement you don't need to do. Now, you might be able to see that in the video, but you won't be able to see yourself doing that. So you won't make that connection of, okay, that's too much barrel movement. But the application of just recording something for a memory that you want to be able to share with family and friends, great. If you're trying to be a content creator and you want those close-up awesome shots, the ShotKam does a great job at doing that. The ShotKam itself does come with its own carrying case. It comes with a lens cleaning kit, its own Allen key wrench, and it comes with a charging cable and charging block. There is a strap that holds in your ShotKam while transporting it from place to place, and it is padded all throughout. It's a pretty sturdy case, actually. It's got like a hard exterior, so I don't worry about it getting bumped, dinged up, or anything like that. For the price, if you're wanting to just figure out if this is something you're interested in or you would like to try, I would definitely look on Facebook Marketplace or on Craigslist or eBay. I have seen some on eBay, not of the Gen 4s, but mainly of the Gen 3s. The Gen 4s are just blowing it out of the water right now. That is why I believe the prices have gone up versus what the Gen 3s have. Yeah, supply and demand, that's how it works. So I don't see the price coming down anytime soon. Okay, now that we've talked about the ShotKam and done like a very generic review of the product itself and the applications that it can offer, now I'm going to transfer over to the information side of this video. More of like a news update. So the NSCA, obviously, just like any sport, has rules. And in those rules, one of the rules that states, Chapter 7, 7.1, under gun ammunition, the definition. Now, at first glance, you're going to be like, oh, duh. It says the use of micro cameras mounted on shotguns or any artificial aiming device is forbidden. Case closed. We're good. Don't use it anymore, right? But under looking further, if you look under what this section and these chapters are under, if you can see this to the left, it says definition of international FETASC rules, and each chapter following refers to this main chapter of FETASC. Now, why is that important? Now, the reason that's important is because FETASC has its own set of rules versus what Sporting Clays does. In fact, if you actually were to pull up the PDF of the 2023 NSCA rulebook and Control F search and type in camera, this is the only place in the entire rulebook that a camera is mentioned and says that it's prohibited. So naturally, having gotten previous clarification, I went right along with being able to keep recording. I'd actually had a NSCA official, certified official, tell me, hey, you can use your ShotKam, it's perfectly fine. So I went about my business using ShotKam. I had people even say, wow, that's really cool, like what is that, and explain it to them. They're like, oh, that's really neat, that's an awesome idea. So I had support of not just the officials but regular shooters as well. Now, this is where it was brought to my attention. About 3 weeks ago, I had Brian S. Twin comment saying you need to check the rules on cameras, see Chapter 7, 7.1 of the NSCA rulebook. I replied, and I said, hello, I have checked the rules on cameras and gotten clarification before starting this venture. It says the use of micro cameras mounted on shotguns or any artificial aiming device is forbidden. Having gotten clarification, it is anything to enhance your ability to see targets better while shooting more than your natural eye. And that was the clarification I had gotten from the NSCA certified instructor. Okay. I continued to say, hence that micro cameras are forbidden. Thank you for your comment, and I hope to see you in future posts. He said, thanks. I've been told at events that I couldn't use my ShotKam. Can you share who clarified this for you? And then I continued with, did the club that you went to said you couldn't, or didn't want you to, or did they specifically say because it was against the NSCA? That's important, okay? Because at any point, you as a organization or a business can say, hey, we don't want any cameras here, because it is a private org. It is. It's a private business. You can say no one is allowed to record on your property, even though the NSCA has rules stating that they are allowed to use ShotKams or GoPros or whatever. If the place you shoot at says you cannot record, you cannot record, period. It's just that is the place, the range's rules. He continued to say they said it was against NSCA rules and referred me to the rule I quoted. I said, interesting. Why would someone go against the one rule and the same person reading the same rule read it differently? So I was like, okay, I'm going to nip it right in the bud. So I called the NSCA and got in touch with two people. One was the executive director, Michael Hampton Jr. He stated that ShotKams or any type of recording device is prohibited in the sport of NSCA, no matter what discipline, and said that it doesn't seem, because there's so much technology being released right now that's able to not only track where you're pointing with your barrel, if you're behind it, in front of it, above it, below it, but also audibly corrects you until you make the correction while targeting a clay. That's insane. I mean, it's super high-tech stuff. I personally don't believe someone would take the time to consecutively do that over and over and over to try and get a leg up. I just don't believe it. After that, before I had actually gotten in touch with Michael Hampton, I had called Nikki Bowers. Her name's actually Nicole. She is the assistant director of the NSCA, and she is well-versed in all of the rules, as she schooled me on what it is the rule books actually state. When she called, she said, hey, did you miss my call? And I said, yes. I had called a couple days ago asking about a rule clarification. And I was willing to see if you would help me. I already got clarification from someone else Maybe you can also do the same. She said, sure, what can I help you with? Chapter 7, 7.1. First thing she said was, yes, that's under fee task. That doesn't matter with sporting clays. What? She was like, yeah, it's under the fee task rules in the 2023 rule book for NSCA. It is under fee task, not under sporting clays. Only that's the only event you cannot use a camera. I said, interesting. And she was like, well, that is how the rules are written, and that is the case. You can use it in the sporting clay event. I said, cool, awesome. Hung up. She went and apparently talked to him. And he called me back a few days later and was like, hey, I was wrong. Apparently you are able to use ShotKams. And there is a meeting on Friday about the use of ShotKams and if they are prohibited. The email I got from Michael Hampton Jr. was that on Friday, the NSCA EC agreed to allow ShotKams, shot trackers, and other devices like this to be used during registered events. All shooters still must comply with the 20-second rule. Hope that helps. Good luck at your next event, and thanks for promoting NSCA Sporting Clays. Take care. One giant step for content creator kind and all of you shooters out there that want to just have fun and be able to record and document the awesome tournaments that you go to and exchange memories with people. So honestly, I hope that was helpful. I know I drugged that out a lot, but I wanted you to have the full encompassing understanding of what the process that I went through and how long it took. I actually asked both of them if they'd be willing to do an interview style over the phone, and they reluctantly declined. So maybe we'll get an interview with someone else later down the road. That being said, maybe more subscribers will get me there. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope it was helpful and informative. If it's not your cup of tea, tell me in the comments. Hit me with the thumbs down. If this is something you were interested in, tell me what you want me to improve on. Like, hey, we want more information. We want less information. We just want you to cover the topic of this. We like the news aspect, whatever it might be, to better the content that I can provide for you, because that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to make good content that everyone enjoys and get better at it through trial and error. So, again, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Norton & Co. Shooting Sports signing off. You have a good one.